Sorry to post 2 videos a day. Again, this just came across the Twitter. Colin Wright retweeted it. This is from Vice News. Penguin Random House staff confronts publisher about new Jordan Peterson book. I just did a video about this book. He read the 12 rules. He told his 12 new rules. He told us what the rules are about. Did anything in this sound vaguely racist or hateful or against anyone? I'm just beyond words at these people. Several Penguin Random House Canada employees confronted management about the company's decision to publish a new book by controversial Canadian psychologist Jordan Peterson in an emotional town hall Monday. I can picture it. And dozens more have filed anonymous complaints, according to 4 workers who spoke to Vice World News. I can imagine a lot of publishing houses saying, please, please, please drop it. Please, we'll pick it up. On Monday, Penguin Random House Canada, Canadian's largest book publisher and a subsidiary of Penguin Random House, announced it will be publishing Beyond Order 12 More Rules for Life by Peterson to be released March 2021. The book will be published by Portfolio in the U.S. and Penguin Press in the U.K., both part of Penguin Random House empire. 4 Penguin Random House Canadian employees who did not want to be named due to their concerns over their employment said the company held a town hall. Every time I sort of think, well, this stuff is going to die down. Here it is. Did not want to be named due to concerns over their employment, said the company held a town hall about the book Monday. The company holds a town hall, and people don't want to talk about the town hall that was held because they're afraid that talking about the town hall meeting itself will threaten their employment. Said that during the executives defended the decision to publish Peterson, while employees cited their concerns about platforming someone who is popular in far-right circles. I am not far-right. Most of the people that I know are not far-right. And I'm going to read the book. If Nazis ate Cheetos, would you try to ban them? He's an icon of hate speech and transphobia. Who made him an icon of these things? Not him. You did. And the fact that he's an icon of white supremacy, regardless of the content of his book, I'm not proud to work for a company that publishes him, a junior employee who is a member of the LGBTQ community and who attended the town hall, told Vice News. So first people are afraid to talk about the town hall, and now wow. An icon of white supremacy. This is just absurd. This is absurd. Another employee said people were crying in the meeting about how Jordan Peterson had affected their lives. I've seen people cry about how Jordan Peterson had affected their lives because they felt better. They had meaning. They had purpose. They cleaned their room. They got a job. They married the girl. They got on with their life. They patched up their relationship with their parents. Those are the people I see crying about Jordan Peterson. They said one coworker discussed how Peterson had radicalized their father. Maybe Peterson radicalized Paul Vanderklay. Have I been radicalized? I'm a good bit less radical than I used to be in some ways, but maybe more. I've always been a Jesus follower, and I believe that makes one a radical. Care for the homeless. You'll become a radical too. Who has talked about how publishing the book will negatively affect their non-binary friend. Since the company since June has been doing all these anti-racist and allyship things, and then publishing Peter's book completely goes against it. This just makes all their previous efforts seem completely performative, the employee added. A third employee told Vice News the company's diversity and inclusion committee received at least 70 anonymous messages about Peterson's book, and only a couple in favor of the decision to publish it. See, part of the reason I don't think this is going to go anywhere is because everyone's a coward. You're just going to send an anonymous message. I'll tell you something. And I mean, again, I got into this because you deal with this stuff in churches all the time. And I'll tell you, many pastors have policies with respect to anonymous letters. They don't read them and they go in the garbage, because if you're not willing to sign your name, an email statement, Penguin Random House Canada said it's open to its employees' feedback. He announced yesterday that we will publish Jordan Peterson's new book, Beyond Order, this coming March. Immediately following the announcement, we held a forum and provided a space for our employees to express their views and to offer feedback. Our employees have started an anonymous feedback channel, which we fully support. An anonymous feedback channel. What could go wrong with that? We are open to hearing our employees' feedback and answering all their questions. We remain committed to publishing a range of voices and viewpoints, the statement said. Obviously, many of your employees are not. The company did not answer any of the specific questions sent by Vice News Service. I guess some kind of questions they'll answer. Peterson, 58, a University of Toronto professor turned anti-political correctness crusader, first ignited, yada, yada, yada. He quickly became popular in right-wing and libertarian circles across the globe, becoming a regular guest on Joe Rogan's podcast. It's so funny because people think Joe Rogan's like this alt-right character. And it's like, is this just a complete failure of people to do their homework? I mean, it's just startling. Oh, 3.25 million YouTube followers tuned into his lectures on why white privilege isn't real and how masculinity is under attack. Yeah, those are the only two ones. At one point, he was making $80,000 a month in Patreon. His book, 12 Rules for Life, An Antidote for Chaos, includes instructions like stand up straight with your shoulders back. Terrible. It's all about our posture. Set your house in perfect order before criticizing the world, which sold more than 5 million copies worldwide. Yeah, you wonder why Penguin Random House is not going to not publish this book? They're not idiots. The Penguin Random House Canada employee said the company was secretive about releasing Peterson's new book. One said, and maybe that's why he didn't say anything in his sort of I'm back video. One said the title didn't appear in an internal database that normally includes future books. Now they've got there's a lot of publishing houses out there that are going to say, yeah, bring it on, baby. It feels like deliberately hidden and dropped on us once it was too late to change course, said the junior employee who is a member of the LGBT community. Do you get a card for that? Tell me what community that is. Do you have a town hall? Or are you just mentally grouping a people together by a particular aspect and saying, we all speak with one voice? The employee said workers the workers would have otherwise considered a walkout, similar to what Hatchet employees did when the publisher announced it would be publishing Woody Allen's memoir. Hatchet later dropped the book. Oh, this is going to be interesting to watch. An email viewed by Vice World News, Christian Cochran, chief executive officer of Penguin Random House Canada, invited staff to discuss the announcement with Ann Collins, publisher of NOF, Random Canada Publishing Group, the imprint under which Peterson's book will be published. How we think about, again, I think about what Peterson writes, and it just baffles my mind. How do we think about our publishing? The range of books we publish is an evolving process and part of the ever-changing conversation. Boy, that's just all boilerplate, isn't it? I'm eager to have a bigger way with all of you. I'm eager to have in a bigger way with all of you. Oh, that sounds like it'll be. In the meantime, though, I realize some of you might have thoughts to share on this particular publication, and so shortly following this note, you will receive an invitation by Ann Collins where she will share more information about the new book and, more importantly, our reasons for publishing it. I'm kind of curious to hear what those would be. Besides the money, Collins opened the meeting by talking about how Peterson has helped millions who are on the fringes of society and would otherwise be marginalized by alt-right groups, radicalized by alt-right groups. Of course, I'm not in touch with all of Peterson's fans, but I'm in touch with a sample, and yep, Jordan Peterson sending people to the Orthodox Church. What a crime. She was trying to kind of spin it as positive to be publishing this book. You think? But he's the one who's responsible for radicalizing and causing this surge of alt-right groups. That's what Jordan Peterson has done, especially on university campuses. The employee said Collins noted her background in journalism, and that's important to be publishing a variety of voices. The employee said when Peterson previously came into the office to talk about the book, they would kind of do it secretly. It's probably because everybody would want to shake his hand and say, Dr. Peterson, you've helped me. The employee said they believe Penguin Random House Canada is publishing Peterson's new book because 12 Rules for Life was incredibly successful. You think? It's really hard for a corporation to have to admit it's in the business of turning a profit. We're not here to turn a profit. Good. I hope you won't mind if we stop paying you then. They're not going to acknowledge the reason they're doing it is for money. I feel that would be a more honest route to go rather than making excuses for Jordan Peterson. What do you got to make excuses? He doesn't make excuses for him. Just say, yeah, did you see 5 million books? You write something that sells 5 million books. We'll publish it. We publish a lot of people in the LGBTQ plus community, and what is the company going to do about making sure these authors are still feeling supported? I need to feel supported by a company that is supporting someone who denies their existence. That baffles me. According to the employee, another person, again, you deal with this stuff in churches all the time. Well, Pastor, it's not me, but I hear people are saying, oh, really? Who are these people? They'd rather not say, oh, okay. You know what you do with comments like that? You go on with your life. That's what you do with comments like that. Another person said they were instructed to not post anything critical of Peterson on their social media feeds when 12 Rules for Life was published. So we got suppression going both ways. The employee said Cochran said she didn't recall that policy. It's a book. Encourage conversation. Take the book and critique it if you want to. Start a YouTube channel. Trash it on Twitter. Do what you want. But it's insane. The company has said how it will not respond to the critical feedback, but the book is being published in March. It will likely go to print soon. I bet it will. Oh, I love the little correction too. Correction, a previous version of the story said a non-binary employee spoke about how Peterson's new book will negatively impact them. In fact, the employee was speaking about their non-binary friend. So, yeah. Wow. And what I'm worried about is Jordan, because he doesn't need this crap. He's just trying to write a book. He's just trying to do his job. He's just trying to help people. You go and shellac him like this unfairly? This stuff makes me mad. I try not to get too upset about this stuff, but wow. I really hope that the Penguin Random House Canada keeps their big boy pants on and continues to put out books that other people might not like. Hang on a second. Gotta check something. Just wanted to check. Penguin Random House does not own Zondervan. I was curious about if they had Christian imprints. Of course, Zondervan, who was responsible for starting the NIV, which has been fabulously profitable, was eventually bought up by HarperCollins, who also owns Thomas Nelson. It's a very interesting thing in the corporate Bible world to see who owns what and what books they will print and what books they won't print. So, yeah, quite the news coming out of resistance for Jordan Peterson's new book. Wish I could say I was more surprised. I am surprised. Wow.